I keep finding packages of provolone cheese in my fridge. I never buy provolone cheese. I found it on Monday. I was cleaning out the fridge, and on the top shelf, I found a package of provolone cheese. It had seen better days. The package was open, and there was greenish mold growing over the slices. I immediately threw it out. But 2 days later, I found a second package of moldy provolone. Alex, I shouted. How many packages of provolone did you buy? He sauntered in. I didn't buy any provolone. Not recently. I mean a long time ago. I found it all moldy in the back of the fridge. I frowned at him. You shouldn't buy it if you're just going to let it rot. I didn't buy it. I never buy provolone, he replied, annoyed. I hate how it tastes. Well, it's definitely not mine. I let it go, but then I found the third package of provolone. I stormed straight over to Alex. Is this some kind of joke? Huh? I dropped the cheese on his lap. Why would you? This isn't funny. Stop messing with me. He gingerly picked up the cheese and went to the trash can. Look, Rachel. That isn't my cheese, okay? It isn't mine either. Are you sure this isn't leftover from the barbecue? Yeah. I only bought American cheese for that. I don't know what to tell you. But I promise you, Rachel, I did not buy that cheese. He huffed and walked into the other room, going back to the TV. Questions raced through my head. I didn't buy the cheese. Alex didn't either. And all the other options seemed far-fetched. One of us had a split personality who loved provolone cheese. Someone was living in our attic and using our fridge to store his cheese. This whole thing was starting to get weird. For a week, there were no cheese-related incidents. But then, on Tuesday, I was in a rush to get to work. And, lo and behold, as I raked through the middle shelf looking for my coffee creamer, I found another one. Moldy provolone cheese. I couldn't believe it. But I was late, so I chucked it into the trash and continued to work. And by the time I got home, I had a plan. I spent 2 hours removing everything from the fridge. I searched through the items, and while I found some genuinely scary things, a piece of 10-day-old lasagna, moldy strawberries, and grape jelly that had been opened 3 months ago, I found no provolone cheese. What are you doing? Alex asked when he got home midway through my cleaning. Cleaning the fridge. I didn't mention the cheese, because I thought it would lead to a fight. Besides, now it was over. I'd gone through everything and I knew, with 100% certainty, there was no more cheese. That night, I slept soundly. I woke up early and headed down the stairs, smiling brightly. After drinking some water, I stepped over to the fridge to find something for breakfast. I swung open the fridge door and screamed. Every single item in the fridge was a package of moldy provolone cheese. They were stacked on the shelves, packed into the meat drawers, flopping out of the door. Alex came running behind me, but as soon as he saw the fridge, he started screaming too. What the fuck? He asked breathlessly. Someone's in our house. And they're fucking with us, I said frantically, backing away from the fridge. My heart was pounding in my chest, rushing in my ears so loudly I could barely hear my own voice. That's the only explanation. Alex reached over me and slammed the fridge door shut. Listen, Rachel, he said, his voice wavering. I have to tell you something. My heart dropped. He glanced around, avoiding my eyes. I bought the provolone cheese. What? Remember when we were babysitting Emma 2 months ago? Lily said she liked sandwiches, so I bought meat and bread and the provolone cheese. I totally forgot about it until a few days ago, when she called me. But I swear, he said, finally looking me in the eyes, I have no idea where the other ones came from. I only bought the one package. Why didn't you tell me? Because I didn't want you to think that I was trying to play some sort of mind game with you. I swear, Rachel, I didn't do this. He reached for his pocket and pulled out his phone. I'm calling the police. You're saying that you woke up to find the contents of your fridge replaced with cheese. The officer finished scratching his notes, then looked between us. Is that correct? I know it sounds crazy, I said. But someone must have broken in and put all this cheese in there. There's not any other explanation. He sighed. Do you have any friends that like to play pranks? Has anything like this happened before? We shook our heads. And no valuables were taken. Just the cheese. We nodded. The other officer joined us. I didn't find any evidence of forced entry, she said. Nothing seems out of place. Look, guys. I can understand how this might be scary. But I'm sure it's just some teenagers that snuck in somehow, through an open window, maybe, and thought this would be the most hilarious thing ever. And we'll find them, he added quickly, seeing our expressions of disappointment. But I don't think you have anything to worry about here. The officers left soon after that. Alex and I looked at each other. Well, that was useless, he said to me, after shutting the door. I had trouble sleeping that night. Logically, I knew the officer's theory made the most sense. Whoever had put the cheese there probably didn't mean us any harm. After all, they could have murdered us in our sleep last night. At best, they were a stupid teenager looking for laughs. At worst, they were a weirdo that enjoyed playing mind games. Mind games that, technically, didn't hurt anyone. I double and triple checked the locks that night, but I couldn't fall asleep. Alex was able to drift off immediately, but I couldn't stop thinking about the cheese. And the longer I thought about it, the more holes I poked in the officer's theory. Where would someone get that much moldy cheese? It must have been like 40 packages. Even if they bought out the entire West Market, it wouldn't be 40 packages. And they wouldn't be moldy. And now that I thought about it, all the packages I'd seen had roughly the same amount of mold. And the moldy splotches were in the same position. It was almost like each cheese package was an exact replica of the others. You're thinking about this too much. Just go to sleep. But the thoughts didn't stop. Where did all our other food go? Did someone just walk out with 10 pounds of groceries? It would be really awkward and risky to break into someone's house and make multiple trips stealing that much food. And why had I never found my coffee creamer after that day I'd found the 4th provolone? Had they stolen that, too? All these questions spun round and round in my head until, finally, I fell asleep. But my sleep didn't last long. I woke up with a start. Even though I was half asleep, I knew something was wrong. I forced myself up and looked around the dark room, straining my ears for sounds of an intruder. But everything was still and silent. I rolled over to go back to sleep. No. Oh, God, no. Where Alex should have been sleeping, there was only a pile of moldy provolone cheese.